Hey everyone, welcome to week 8. We're finally here. We're finally at the end of the semester, and I want to thank you very much. I know it's not been easy. I know there's been some difficult discussions and there's been some challenges, but you've made it this far. You've stuck with it, and for that, number one, I'm proud. And you should celebrate that you made it to the end. That being said, for our last week, I wanted to not only give you the face part, so you know I'm in your lower right hand corner of the screen, but you're also seeing our Blackboard page because I wanted to talk about a couple things in this particular video. So this is the weekly intro, and so under weekly folders, you'll have noticed that week 8 is officially open. I had it open since Sunday. Yesterday being Memorial Day, technically wasn't a school day, but I still wanted to make sure everything was available. But so you'll see our outside readings that are connected to what we talk about in the lecture video, which is what do we do now? With all the information that we've learned from reading through the textbook, what do we do? And so it's what exactly is the next steps? How do we deal with this information and what can we do to be better? So that's all separate. That's all wonderful. There's the lecture video as normal, but the couple things that I want to talk about. So number one is the final exam. So the final exam has officially gone up. It's been up since Sunday. Please take your time with it. It is not a timed exam, so there's no time limit, and it is open notes, open book. So by all means, feel free to use those resources that you have as you're going through the test. Okay? So please don't feel like you can't use your notes. I'm telling you, use your notes. You've paid attention, hopefully, this entire semester, so you know a lot of this stuff. Use what you have. That's just kind of my general statement about the exam. There is a matching section for those of you who've had me in criminal law in the first 8 weeks of this spring. You'll know that the matching section does not always work the way I want, so I've actually redone this matching section. It's a little more manageable. So for those of you who are like, oh man, Mr. Wheaton, I promise you it's a lot better. I really worked on it to make it work better. But that being said, please go through the exam, take your time, just make sure that when you are done, that you hit submit, not save for later because that'll just save a draft. Make sure that you are hitting submit when you turn them in. The other thing is Court of Public Opinion Dropbox and Court of Public Opinion submissions. There are two different sections. This Court of Opinion Dropbox, this is legitimately, it's an offline submission, so you don't actually submit anything here. It's just so that you in the gradebook can see this. This is where you get your grade. But this is where I want it. This is the Court of Public Opinion submission. So it's just like we would with our with our weekly discussion boards. I want you to put your component on discussion boards so that we can talk, so that everyone can see your submission, because it's not just for me to see. I want your classmates to see. I want you all to engage with it. So remember, there should be a visual and some audio component. A couple of you have reached out to me personally about this, and we've talked. Honestly, I'm pretty lenient on it. I want to see that you're doing at least part of this. And so I did receive several emails from one student. You know who you are. But I did receive from some other students as well. I just have to give this student a hard time. But asked for examples of the Court of Public Opinion. So I gave you an example of the outline. I gave you an example of what I was looking for. So realistically, I have for you 3 different examples, all from the last time that this class was taught. I have the only edit I have made to any of these 3 is I took the student's name out of the assignment. Okay? Everything else is what the student submitted. And so I'm going to tell you right now, the first example is one where the student did not have any audio component. There was no them explaining their case. It was just literally their visual. The second one is all visual, but has one audio piece to it. And the third one is the combination of video and audio. There were other examples, but I couldn't use those for this class for these purposes. So I want you to know all three of these assignments were good assignments. Example 3 earned an A. Example 2 earned an A. And example 1, because it didn't have that audio component, earned a B. Okay? So just because you're missing the audio component doesn't mean that you automatically failed the assignment. It just, because I'm asking you to have part of that, you will lose some points for it. But I wanted you to have, once students were saying, can we have an example? These are 3 examples. These are all good examples. Like I said, all 3 students passed the assignment. They passed the class. The first example was one without any audio, and they got a B on the assignment. And the other 2 got A's because they had some audio component. This is what I'm looking for. This isn't what I'm looking for, but this is what students have submitted and I have liked in the past. Not that I haven't liked other ones that have been submitted, because I like a lot of them. But I can only show so many. There was another one I really wanted to use, but I couldn't get the file to work right. But otherwise, this is just a couple examples. Obviously, they all did a PowerPoint. I had a student do just regular video. It's all up to you on your visual and your audio. Just make sure that your visual has some sort of representation of your character. You will see that in this. But anyway, thank you very much for sticking it out with me, for taking this class. I know online school is somewhat difficult. It's a different world. There's not as much connectivity that you would have in a traditional classroom. So for those of you who have been active in keeping up with the discussion boards, I do pay attention to that. I pay attention to who is posting and when. I see the people who are regularly engaging. And for those of you doing that, thank you. That's how you have to do online classes. And I'm proud of those. For those of you who struggle with that, it's okay, but think of it as a learning opportunity. It's how you continue advancing and how you get better at this. But completely serious, thank you very much, everyone. I do actually enjoy reading the discussion boards every week. If you think I don't, I do. It's interesting to see how you all take what we talk about in the lecture and what we read about and apply it. And I know I came up with some of the questions, and I know like I posed the questions to you, but it's still interesting for me to see how you all engage with that content. So thank you. Thank you for making this a wonderful class. And if I don't see you in another class, I wish you the best of luck in whatever it is you do. And for those of you who are going to have another class with me, I'll see you in that class. And I look forward to having a conversation. But yeah, thank you very much. And I'll see you soon.